All right, you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's a foggy morning here, and I have a car behind me, as you guys can see. Yeah, you're not looking at me. You're a little bit distracted, I already can tell. You guys all know the 240Z, the 260Z, and the 280Z were the original Z cars. They were the original kind of non-polarizing Japanese car because of how incredibly beautiful they are, like, to look at. The body style is incredible. And then this one, Elvis's car behind me, is a 280ZX. So it is the effectively second generation, what is kind of the more unloved, I guess you could say, of the early Z cars. But nonetheless, look at this thing, okay? Just look at it. I'm really excited to drive it. We're gonna talk to Elvis. We're gonna see what he's done under the hood, and of course, all the extensive modifications that he's done to turn this car into what it is today. So let's get in and let's go for a drive. There's a bit of a shock factor that some cars have that nothing can really match, and this is one of those cars that just absolutely just takes it to the next level. You know, theoretically, it has more mechanical grip. It's got 275s all around. It's got the factory, I believe it's an L28 under the hood. The original 240, 260s, those had L24s, L26s, and L28s. Naturally aspirated inline sixes. And then, in fact, for this generation was actually sold with a turbo 2.8, which is pretty rad. But then Nissan actually realized, or Datsun realized, that the transmission they were using was not strong enough. So I believe it was the first year that they made that car that the manual was not offered with the turbo model. You could only get it with an automatic, which is kind of strange. But really loose shifter right off the bat here. Is that the floor? Am I hitting the floor? Yes. That is the floor. It's not fast. The steering is questionable. I mean, my foot's to the floor. It feels like we've got maybe 150 horsepower, if I had to guess. The good thing is, though, these cars are so incredibly light. Oh yeah, she goes. It's not that slow. It's moving around a little bit on its own accord. I love how Elvis has moved the mirrors, the side view mirrors, where they would originally have been located in the traditional kind of 80s way, because they moved them from the original, but he put them back into their original places where they would be in a 240Z. So that's pretty cool. All I'm seeing is blurry tree branches. That's all I'm seeing. No help there whatsoever. It almost sounds like a truck or a tractor.
So, my name is Elvis. That's the easiest part of my name. This is my 1982 Datsun 280ZX that is extremely modified. From 10 feet away, it looks amazing. But when you start to come close, you start to notice some imperfections. That's pretty much because this was the first car I ever welded, or my first actual car that I built. And so I got the wheels. First of all, the wheels, we're just gonna start from here and go to the back.
Absolutely.
So the wheels are actually NASCAR wheels. They're the Aero Racing, and so they're technically not road legal, but we're not gonna talk about that. It's fine. And then you'll see these massive, these flares actually stick out a little bit over 8 inches. So yes, I used a ruler and measured everything, and it's a little bit over 8 inches. And yeah, so I created all of this stuff. I got the sheet metal, and if you check my YouTube channel, you can see how I did it. But I just cut everything out, got sheet metal, welded everything together, and I had an idea of what I wanted to recreate. And then coming up here, this was the original front bumper, but I stripped out all the plastic because it stuck out like this far. And then I pushed it in a little bit. There's a mod you can do that, push it in a little bit. And then I got strips of metal and started welding a bunch of sheet metal to it. I tried to clean it up. It's not perfect, but it's fine. And then I also got these, what's it called?
Canards?
Yeah, canards, thank you. Also sheet metal. I got like some L brackets, attached them to the back, riveted them, and it's fine. This car I call the Home Depot special because that's where I got 90% of the parts that I used to build this thing. And then the front splitter, this is actually plywood. So, but it's really strong, like the whole car is shaking.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, so, and it's attached, these are Home Depot turnbuckles as well as the splitter rods. I got some from, initially I got like splitter rods from eBay, but they were very flimsy and I didn't really trust them, so I just used these.
Does it drive well? I mean, it drives. It absolutely drives. Steering's actually pretty direct once you get up to speed. Low speed, the steering's kind of trash, to be honest. You know, needs a little bit of work in the suspension dialing in department, but you just gotta be above 4,000 RPM. Under 4,000 RPM, it's kind of frightening how little power it has. It's kind of frightening. We're not gonna go that guy was not impressed. That guy was so not impressed. It's a love-hate thing. I mean, on one hand, if you guys want my take, on one hand, it's so terrible. But it's not at the same time. It's awesome. It's so cool. First off, it's completely home built. Anything, in my opinion, that's home built, that you've done all the fabrication yourself, that's just a testament to the grind, so to speak. You know, that drive to create something that no one else has done before, and to be resourceful about it and to just have fun with it, okay? On the rear end, holding up the rear end of the ski box are 370Z downpipes. What? I'm looking in the rearview mirror at 370Z downpipes with the O2 bung plugged up in my rear view mirror. That's the first time anyone's ever looked at a downpipe in their rear view mirror going 100 kilometers an hour.
So these are the side skirts that I made. It's again just sheet metal, bent them a little bit. Actually didn't have a thing to bend sheet metal, so I used the hood to bend the sheet metal, and it worked. I just put it like under there, pressed it. It was a whole thing.
The car made itself.
Exactly. And made that. And then this is also sheet metal. And that sheet metal, everything is riveted to the body of the car. What else? Okay, so for the ski box, this is actually, I used to have a Nissan 370Z. Until before I sold it, I took out the catless downpipe. So if you look at them, they still has the O2 sensors here. And yeah, initially it was a joke that worked perfectly. It worked as a mount, it's level. This is Super Strut, also from Home Depot. I just chopped it down, bolted it down, and it's amazing. It works. This, if you look at the regular Datsun, it doesn't have this thing up here.
Molded.
Yeah, but I just wanted to, make it look, I don't know, smooth and molded like you said. And so I just used some sheet metal, welded everything, and then tried to smooth it out the best I could to kind of make it more aerodynamic, at least to the eyes. And then I took out the rear bumper, welded. So technically, if I was to get in a wreck, I would probably die.
No, the 370 downpipes would save
help,
you.
exactly.
It would save you.
I didn't want to get rid of the tow hooks in case I end up in a ditch, because I could have made it very smooth, but I was like, I'm just gonna leave the tow hooks there just in case, so I leave so the authorities can get me out of a ditch, because this thing doesn't have airbags, no safety features, and it's very sketchy to drive.
I'm not gonna go as far as to say this is an outlaw build, because I have a feeling if Elvis or I were to hit the track in this and try to drive it really hard, that things would begin to showcase themselves through the mist and the fog, so to speak, real quickly. But as far as aesthetics go, it kind of has a little bit of that outlaw vibe. There's rivets going on here and there, there's imperfections, there's, you know, it's got a gritty feel to it. Wow, surprising confidence in the brakes. What? How did that happen? And these cars just have the best shape to them. And especially the 2+2s. They have a little bit more of that Jag E-Type or Jensen Interceptor kind of shape to them. It drives. Guys, it drives. This is the surprising part, it drives. Does it drive amazing? No. Does it handle amazing? No, but there's so much grip.
Then the paint job actually for the car was actually inspired by a 1970s Porsche. I think it's the 935. I saw it and I was like, oh, that would be such a cool paint job on the Datsun. And I didn't really touch the interior with restoration, so the carpet is very original. All these plastics are original. I haven't touched them. This thing is falling apart. The center console, but I don't know. It's fine. I initially told myself I was going to fix up the interior, make it look nicer, but I just had so much fun driving it for like a year, and I just have been postponing that forever. But I did put racing seats in it, so these are NRG bucket seats, and they help so much because the original seats were so sketchy, they were so worn, it was really bad. And then I got like a weighted shift knob, yeah, this is a 5-speed manual.
Is it original 5-speed manual?
Yeah, original 5-speed. Okay. So yeah. So I know the 240s and 260s and 280s, I think they're 4-speed.
4 speeds.
Now the ZXs all came, they came with 5-speed manuals, and I did have all 4 coilovers, but again, kind of like how I was talking about before, it was really low, and so that caused it to scrape everywhere it went. And the rears, even if I cranked them up, it was still too low. So I had to take them out and replace them with the original factory shocks, which have kind of gone bad now until it's like,
okay.
It's kind of bouncy. A little bit of so I need to get better shocks, or new coilovers for the rears at least. But and it does have electric windows, which I think is a luxury.
Whoa!
Awesome. Yeah, I know.
That must have been an option. I'm gonna guess that was an option.
Yep. So it is completely stock.
Oh, wow.
This is a very stock 2.8 liter naturally aspirated engine. So they had the 280ZX and they had the ZX Turbo. This car, if you look at the hood, let me bring this down, sorry. It has the ZX Turbo scoop, so this turbo would go down here.
I was gonna ask, is that factory?
Yeah, but for some reason, I think so, with this car, even though it's not turbo, the previous owner, I think, was doing a turbo conversion of some sort, because this has the turbo heads. Because the turbo heads and the non-turbo heads are different, and so it has the turbo heads, it has like the shielding, for the turbo and all that. So the only thing I technically need to do is just to put a turbo and an intercooler and some piping, and that should be it. And I also upgraded the headlights, so
it looks awesome. These remind me of those 911 headlights.
Yes,
modern.
Yes, a lot of people initially think that they're Porsche headlights. I just think that just also helps to give the car a distinct look to it.
Yes.
But with that said, and let me show you guys the most janky thing, I think, one of the most janky things. And if you look in the back, this is an actual Samsung soundbar. A
soundbar? Oh, did you wire that in?
Yeah, and this is the subwoofer for the Samsung. So I just put it there because it's just, what's it called? It's easy, it's easier than replacing the whole thing, and I just wanted to keep at least the original radio just stock looking.
You'll never know until the sub just goes flying to one side of the car, making a huge racket.
And, with that said, that's pretty much, I think, most things about the Datsun. But the next car I want to do something even more amazing, and I don't want to say what it is now. But yes, and I also do car reviews too, so.
Perfect.
Yeah, so thank you for checking out my channel. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to shout it out.
No, thank you. All right, guys.
Anyways, you guys, I just wanted to go for a quick drive in Elvis's 280ZX. Elvis has got a YouTube channel. If you guys don't know, he does a lot of videos. He just moved up here from the States, so he's new to the local British Columbia car scene here. So that's awesome, you know, he's getting his feet wet, and you know, he just wants to have fun and shock some people, maybe annoy some people in the process, which I can always get behind. You do you. You build your car however you want to build it, and then you'll yeah, see, thumbs up everywhere. Everyone loves it. So haters, go home. Go tell your moms. All right, thanks guys for watching. Hit me up on Instagram at Roads Untraveled. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification if you don't want to miss any other videos we've got coming up. But until next time.